Okay, so now next concept is pagination, right? You must have heard about pagination, right? So if you see this Amazon page, right, this is paginated. That means I might have, hundreds of records with me, but on the front end I'm giving only first 10. Then if you go to next page, I'll give you the next 10. If you go to the next page, I'll give you further next 10, right. So basically this concept is known as pagination, right? Similarly, in database we might have thousands of record, we might have lakhs of record, right? But we don't want to send all the records, we want to paginate it, right? I want to send it page by page, right? So how can I achieve this one, right? So if you remember, I explained about the limit query, right? So select star from employees, right, limit 10, right? If I run this one, I'll get the 10, I'll get 10 results. Now with this query, I'll always get the 10, those 10 results, right? But I want to have a paginated result, right? So what I can do is, there is a property called offset. That means it will give limit of 10, but from where it will start, right? So I will say offset of 0. What is the meaning of offset of 0? That means it will start from the beginning. Start from the beginning and limit 10 give me records, right? So if I run this one, I'll get the records. This is page 1. If I have to go to page 2, what I can do? I'll say offset 10. That means skip first 10. After that, pick few items and limit that to 10, right? So what I will get? I'll get the next record, next set of records, right? Next paginated records, right? Or page 2, you can say, right? How can I achieve page 3? Offset it to 20. That means skip first 20. From 21, give me 10, right? Right. So now we'll go to our next concept. That is a case statement, right? So what is a case statement, right? In programming languages, we have switch cases, right? Something similar. So I will show you. Now, what is my requirement? My requirement is, in the employee table, what I have to do is I have to show another column called called as salary classification, right? And based on a particular range of salary, I will say high salary, mid salary, or low salary, right? This is what I have to display, right? So what I can do, select star from employees, right? Okay, now instead of select star, what I can do, I can add all the values that I want. I want ID, I want name, okay, just these many things, okay. Then what I want is their salary classification. Say for example, for a particular salary range, I will say high salary. That means how I can achieve that one, I will say case, right? And I will say and as salary classification, right? Now that means within a case statement, I can add certain conditions. Based on that, I will add a then statement. So let us check the example. Case when salary is greater than equal to say 75,000, then high. Okay, I will say when salary is greater than equal to 50,000 and salary is less than 75,000, then what I want to say? I want to say mid, right? Else whatever is there, I will say. Then I can say another when salary is less than 5,000, I will say then low, else what I can say, unknown salary, because there are few null columns in the salary also, right, which I don't know. So I can say that means for each row, see what is the salary. If it is greater than 75,000, mark it as high salary. If it is between 50,000 and 75,000, mark it as mid salary. And if it is less than 5,000, mark it as low salary. Okay, and this should be 50,000, so that it will be within the range, right? Less than 50,000. Yeah, so this is greater than 50,000 and less than 75,000. This is anything less than 50,000 will be low. And if there is anything else, it will be unknown salary. And this value high and mid and low will be inside a column called as salary classification. Right? This is the alias. Right? I will end this with semicolon and I will run this one. Right? So if you see, I get the ID, I get the name, and I get low, unknown salary, low, mid, right? Like that. I get all the values, right? So this is the example of a case statement, right? Right. Now, one more small concept we will check. So I will say select star from employees, right? And I will run this one. So if you see here, there is a salary called null, right? And there is a designation called null, right? So when we try to generate a report out of this, right, we don't want to have this null column, right? This doesn't look good, and non-technical people will not understand what is the meaning of null, right? So for that, what we can do is, instead of null, we can assign it a default value. That means I will say, okay, ID, as usual, I will select, right? So select ID, right? Name. Till here everything is fine, but I know few designation have, null. So what I can say, if null of what, if null of designation, then add unknown, right? That means if null, that means if designation is null, mark it as unknown. Similarly, if null of what, salary, I will mark it as 0, right? Now I will run this query. Now if you see, I have few 0 columns, I have few unknown. Maybe if you want, you can change the string, instead of unknown you can assign some other string, but you get the idea, right? If it is null, you replace with this value. Now the report looks clean, and people who are not from tech background, who don't know what is null, they will understand, okay, we don't know what is the designation, and the salary of these people, right? That is 0. And if you see, it says if null in the header, right? So I can say as designation, and I'll say as salary, right? So I'll run this one. Right now it says designation and salary.